everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've just popped onto Instagram, and most of you who know me know I don't do it very often. I do struggle with it, find it quite overwhelming, but I did pop on there and I happened to see BettsyDoodle had made some sort of, I guess you'd call them embellishments, hearts and circles, and I thought, oh, do you know what, I don't know how she's done them. I don't know if she's got a video. I think she was inspired by somebody on Instagram, but I'm not sure. Either way, you can check out her post, but I thought I'd have a go at making them, and I'm making something similar, not the same, and I had a bit of an idea. So I've had a little play. It kind of works, so if you want to bear with me, you need a bit of packaging, or you can use anything. This can be absolutely anything. I'm going to use it as a stencil, so if you want to make it out of plastic or whatever, you know, that's entirely up to you. But what you'll need is some cardboard tubes. Now, these are the inside of toilet paper, holders, I don't know what you call them. I'm going to have one round one, and you can experiment here, and one which I've bent into a heart shape, and I've just put an elastic band around it just to kind of keep it so it stays its shape. Okay, and you can see I've had a little play with it. So to make my template, I am going to use some black paint, and let's get something so I can clean my finger because I'm about to make a mess. And for this, I'm just going to take some paint and make me a template somewhere. I need a bit of space all around, but not too much space either, otherwise it means that we are, yep, that will do for that. And the same with the circle. Now you could try and make, I don't know what shapes you could make with these, and you could make anything. You could use your own, whatever you've got for printing, and, you know, an outline basically. Now I've done that too close really, but you get the idea. So you do that, you wait for it to dry, and then you cut out inside. Now, depending on how you want yours, depends on how you want to cut it. If you want to use your template right up to the outside, then cut right up to the outside. I wanted mine to have a gap. Okay, so I've cut mine inside my circle, and I'll show you what I've done. I've kind of painted with them already, but you can see here I've left a tiny gap all the way around because that's the look I wanted. But if you wanted to fill your whole circle, say, with paint, cut it right up to the edge of the circle. All right, that's what I'm doing. So you make yourself, and for speed I'm just going to show you what I've got, a pair of templates, or however many you want. I'm now also just going to use some scrap card I've got, but you can use any kind of card, premium card, but it seems pointless using your best card. I've got an old kitchen sponge, but it's not an old one, it's a new one, but I'm just cutting bits off so that I can use different colours for speed. But you can use a paintbrush, fingers, whatever you wish. And I'm going to choose some different colours. I'm going to choose, let's have a bit of a pastel purple here. In fact, I might just put a few out. I've got bright yellow here. These are not colours that I would normally craft with at all. Let's have this one I might craft with because it's if I can get the lid off, a bright blue, and it's gone everywhere. There's a pale orange here. Let's have a bit of that. And I don't know how many I'm going to do. Pink, just wanted to try with some different colours. That will do. And I have got a gold. Maybe I'll try with a bit of gold if that wants to come out. Not too much. Right, I'll just try and do a couple of these to show you what I'm meaning. So let's start. I really want to start down the other end, but I'll tell you what, we'll do it this way. So I'll give myself some space. I'll do some hearts. Of course, you might want to make yourself more templates if you don't want to wait for them to sort of dry in between. Give yourself some space. Let's have, and I'm only using a sponge really for speed. You could use anything you like. There we go. Let's go with, I'm just going to turn that around. You can see what I'm doing. I've just moved my template, not very careful. Come on. These are not supposed to look absolutely perfect. That's the whole point of these, I think. Let's just use that little bit there. Right, that's one lot. Let's put that up there. Just do some more down here. Quite liked that yellow, so while it's on my sponge, I think I will do one on here. It is picking up some of the other colours, doesn't matter. I mean, I could clean my stencil if I want. That's why I said if you wanted to use plastic, you'd be able to wipe it clean in between. But just for speed, it's quite nice. Might do a couple of those because I quite like that colour and what we've got going on. Just going to fill that up, I think, because I've got loads of that blue. Right, that will do for now. Right, I'm going to keep my stencils because they can be reused. My bits of sponge I will also keep. I've got some water over here. I'm just going to pop them in there. Now, I don't really want to waste my paint, so I might do a few more of these off camera. Okay, now originally my idea was to put the black outline on first and then decorate these, but I'm thinking they'll be easier to decorate with them being on something that you can hold rather than too small and fiddly. Excuse my disgusting tissue. It's not tissue, it's a wet wipe, but I've got black paint under there which I don't want to waste. I'm just trying to keep it damp so that it doesn't dry out. So these are all dry. You can see I did a few extra. Those are the two that I've done, and I just used up some of the other paint, and these are more or less dry. And I'm just going to use a selection of paint pens, some of which are Posca pens, some are just some sort of cheap generic brand. I don't even know where these are from, but probably Amazon, knowing me. And I'm just going to do a bit of doodling on them or something. Let's have a look. Move them out of the way a bit. And I have no idea what I'm going to do, so I might just put some dots on them, on some of them. It's up to you what you decide to do with yours. Just a little play, really. What other colours have we got? Let's have a look. We need something that will go on that bright blue. Quite like that, so I might do a few more of those. But you have to, I mean, I've not done these, I've only had a quick play to see whether or not the idea would work, and it appears it does. So I literally I'm just winging it. What have I got? I've got yellow there. I think we'll do a spotty one. Something like that for there, and actually that would work on here as well. could use pink on this one. This one's quite, you can't really see it. So what I might do is just go around the outside and just put a couple of lines on it. What would go on there? What do we think? Non-existent, I think it could do with. Don't have time for that. Right, oh, these don't look great, these older ones. I haven't used them for a long time. Let's stick to some Posca pens. It has not been that long since I used them. Right, I'm going to go dotty on this one. And I might go stripy on this one. Didn't come up very well, I'm not going to worry too much about it. And then perhaps we'll have bigger, there we go. Bigger dots on there, because I have plans for that. I'm going back to these because I just want to see if I can add to them. And you can use anything. I guess you could use marker pens, whatever works on top of the paint that you've used. If you've used acrylic paint or watercolour paint, or I didn't say that, but you could use anything. Anyway, you get the idea. Just have a play with them. Can't stop playing now because I'm having fun. Right, bear with me. I've got two more to do. There's a purpley one here. What could we do with that? Something like that. I'm going to colour the petals in. And this, we've got gold. What can I use with gold? That is yeah, we could use something with this, but what could we do? Not too keen on that one. Do you know what? I might just leave those ones. Right, let's get these pens out of the way. So I was going to do something with that. I could do with it. Just going to go around these ones with a wiped pen. And go around it twice, and then make sure you don't do it exactly, and then it looks like it's deliberate. I was going to do something with a black pen. Oh yes, I remember. Let's see. I bet I smudge this one out because I'll forget. This pen's great, but it takes a long time to dry. Right, so let's get our paint, And this is the heart one, so I'm dipping it into my black paint. Hopefully I've got, now you can see down the end of your tube. If you look, you've got to put your head over it, so, and roughly line it up. It does not have to be perfect. That's what I'm aiming for, something like that. Oops. And do you see what I mean? I've got a white border around mine. If you wanted yours to be up to the border, cut it in your stencil so that you have less of a border. But the border is the kind of bit that I wanted, so that, you know, I'm happy with that. And you have to line it over, stick your head over it, and you can see where you're lining it up then. I think I'm going to need a little more black paint. Oops. Goodness me, I'm covered in it now. We've still got, might be a bit of an overdose here, let's see. Yep. And I've got one more heart to do. Got a bit too much paint on my tube. Right, let's that dry and we'll do the circles. And again, put your head over it so you can see where you're lining it up, unless you're not fussed. Yeah, oops, I've just stuck the whole of that in the black paint. Now I've tried to use colours that I don't usually use, but you know, if you think about your crafting and the sort of things that you might want to, you know, the colours that you might craft with and you might enjoy using, you might want to stick to something like that. Right, that will do for then. Now before I finish those, I'm going to get some more packaging here. And I'm going to cut me a small, just a small rectangle like that. And I'm going to be using that to make some marks. In fact, I could make it, I might make it smaller, I don't know. Just be careful because my packaging isn't very thick, and when I push down it sometimes bends and then you get some, it kind of goes wonky and not very nice. So I'm just adding a couple of extra lines to mine. So let's take that one out of the way. And again, do what you fancy doing, and you know, if you don't feel like doing this, don't do it. And think about how you want to cut them out, because I'm not going to be too fussed about mine for sure, so I don't mind if I've got extra bits to cut around. Whoops. So I'm not thinking about this, I'm just putting some marks on them. Let's move that out of the way. Oops, missed. And I mean, you can do any shape you like, but this was just a really quick and easy way of using some things that most people have to hand. To create some things. So just trying to show you don't need anything special. You can use some packaging or stuff that you normally put in recycling. Right, that will do. I think those need to dry and then I'm going to cut them out. Right, before I show you what I've made, I've suddenly realised you could use a stencil to do this as well. Something like this, doesn't have to be circles, it could be anything, but something like this would not be great. This wouldn't be great because you don't have something easy to do an outline on. I mean, you could have a go at doing it, but this would be simpler. Something like this where you've got something that you can easily what was I going to say? You can easily put a pen in there and draw around it. So I'm going to have a go at some with some Distress Oxide instead of paint. So I'm just going to try and line this up. Now, I'm not very good at holding stencils in place, so let's just see what we get here. Let's do that, and just kind of not too fussed about the outside, will not go over it because I will be using it. Yeah, something like that. Now, let me get, oh, I've already moved it. But if we get a pen, like that, put that back on, line up your stencil. Now you can misalign it if that's the kind of look you want. If you want to do them nice and neat, we could do something like this, and then like that. We could use a Sharpie or something like that. Oh, that didn't go terribly well, did it? Let's use a Sharpie then. I mean, it really does depend on the kind of look you're after, but I'm going to have another go with this. There we go. And we could still put the lines on. We could, and we can still decorate it. Let's have a think about decoration. Obviously, I want something to go on top of those. I'll perhaps use my. Well, you could stamp on them, couldn't we? Hang on, hang on, hang on. Right, definitely thinking on my feet today. Right, I've got a round stamp. It's too big. It doesn't matter. Any stamp will do, but you don't want to go over the things that you've already. You know, you've already done, so you might have to mask them off or put to stop yourself from that will do for that. Yeah, you don't want to go over, oh, it depends what you want, whatever you're looking for. Right, now I've done that, I am going to add some lines to them. You can do whatever you want. I mean, we could put some faux stitching on them. Something like that. But I'm just going to do this just for simplicity. And I will cut them out and be back. Sorry, I'm back again. I know I'm a pain. When I put my things away, my stamp that I'd been using, I suddenly found these ones here, and I thought, oh look, they look about the right sort of size. And so I thought, I've had another go. I couldn't put things away, so I've used my stencil on here and used Distress inks, and then I have stamped with similar colours, and I'm going to decorate them, and I think I might go around them in black with a pen, cut them out, and then I'll be back. Okay, let me show you what I've made then. So these are the ones that you saw me creating at the end with my stencil, with some distress ink, and I think I used a Sharpie on there and a stamp. So those, now these are the first ones I cut out. You can see how I've cut around and left these bits sticking out. I decided that I didn't like that. Number one, it's quite fiddly. I'm not very good cutting out, and I don't know, I was struggling. I'll show you. The next things I cut out were these ones, which I use the acrylic paint for, and I just cut them in circles around here, and I actually prefer those personally. It's up to you, you know, you do what you prefer, but it's easier to cut out for me, and also I don't dislike the look. So yeah, I love these. I think this is my favourite, these ones, or that one I quite like as well. These are the acrylic paint hearts. Again, I just cut around them, no fiddling around with the extra bits, and I really quite like those. And you could add more decoration, whatever you want to them, but they're really cool. And then this is the last one. I got inspired and just used my stencil and distress inks and those stamps, and I really love these. Now these ones I just drew around them freehand a couple of times around with a pen, and I kind of like that look. But the others I then got, I think this was the next lot I did. This one I just went round once with the black pen in the stencil and added some bits around the outside. And then I think these ones I started and I'm shifting the stencil, so it went on, I've done it twice and I've moved it so that you can see the black line. So, and I did that for these as well, the same thing, just moved the stencil, so we've got two deliberate circles. It made it easier than doing it freehand, but it's whatever your personal preference is. Anyway, that's it. You'll probably see these turning up in all kind of projects, cards, collages probably. Yeah, so I thank BettsyDoodle for the inspiration. I can't remember where she got her inspiration from, but she was inspired by somebody. She has used, I think BettsyDoodle's used some different types of paint and acrylic, alcohol ink. But I love the look of the acrylic paint, but also for speed, these distress inks also worked out very well. So I would suggest you use what you've got in your stash. You don't need to go out and buy things for this. I mean, I literally just opened my stamps and saw those and thought, they would work. I might have a little play with some squares or something. I don't have a square template, but I could make one easily enough and make some square ones or triangles or stars or whatever you fancy. Or go back to using the old cardboard tube and see what you can create with that. Anyway, that is it now. I'm going to stop playing. I've really enjoyed playing with those. It wasn't anything I wasn't planning to do. I had got plans for today, but I saw BettsyDoodle's post and thought, no, I like those. I want to make some of those. And hey presto, here we are. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Stay safe and well, and I will be back again in my next video. Cheerio for now.